What are we doing here today?
Well, today, don't get my bad side. I'm a little chunky. At least I feel like it. Whatever. Today we're doing paint pouring again, but we had a request because someone came in and was gonna do some paint pouring with their kids, but she was gonna do it with ink. Now, when you do paint pouring with ink, it's a little bit different than when you do paint pouring with traditional acrylics, because inks have a tendency to be transparent. So when you pour with an ink, you actually have to use a lot more pigment than you would with a traditional hubby body or soft body paint. And so the trick is too, if you notice here, and you can see this looks almost like the consistency of water. It's really thick, really not thick. So the other trick with pouring when you're using acrylic inks is to prepare your surface first. So what that means is, what I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna mix up some basic white. I'm gonna do a thick white pour over the surface of this first before I pour the acrylic inks on there. The reason that we do that is so that the inks just don't run off the table. So that's the one thing you really have to be careful of when you're using acrylic inks instead of paint. Like, you can see how very fluid that is. I mean, it looks like spit water. So we're gonna do some silver. We chose some really cool colors, and the inks that we're using are, this is Amsterdam's acrylic ink line. So we got some really cool colors. I was thinking maybe like Andy Warhol 1980s inspired Jaguar or something. So here I'm going to use a heavy body. Now, when you use a heavy body, you have to mix your paint, but you have to do it in a certain way. So you're going to mix about this much paint you see in there. And this is a 10 by 10. I probably could use a little less. I always make a little bit extra just in case, because you never know. You might want to go back and play with it some. But before you add your pouring medium to this, you have to add water. And when I add the water to it, I'm going to add just enough water that you can still see the top of the paint. So I'll be right back.